We go to the Florida Everglades.
What?
Where America's Governor Macho Man Ron DeSantis is building new detention centers to house, process illegal aliens, and the left are crying about it.
How did we get here?
I'm Giles Berganzo, and this, the left calls it concentration camps. Me, I call it taking out the trash.
It is what it is.
Tomato, tomato, same thing. But it's what's next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of What's Next. I'm Giles Berganzo, another daily episode for you. Hope you guys are feeling good today. On this Wednesday, by the way. Gee, I almost forgot what day it was. Anyway. Did you hear about the concentration camps that are being built in Florida? I know, it is a total shock, and I am appalled. I am, clutching my pearls. My rectum is clenching because this is just like Nazism 1941. No. They're detention centers that are being built in Florida to house and process illegal aliens and get them the fuck out of the country. But according to the left, they're crying because they believe it's Nazism all over again. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Democratic Florida state rep. Yes, there are those in there. There's still a couple of Democrats left in Florida. Yeah, not many, but Trump is building modern day concentration camps.
Representative Nixon, thanks for being with us, and just tell us your reaction to what you saw and heard today from President Trump's visit to your state.
Yeah, so this isn't about safety. This is actually about Donald Trump building modern-day concentration camps in an effort to disappear people from our communities.
Of course it is.
Donald Trump's blueprint for America has now become barbed wire and broken families. You don't make America great again by doing these types of things. All he's simply doing is returning our country to the worst chapters of our history.
He suggested as well.
Worst chapters in our history. Are you referencing to concentration camps regarding the Japanese, after World War II? Just saying.
Well, that American citizens who have committed violent crimes, murder, and other crimes will be the next group of people that he tries to get out of the country.
Yes, because God forbid we try to get rid of the murderers, the rapists, the rapies, those who, I don't know, who ended those like Lake and Riley's lives and other women during 2024. No. Because they have families.
Let's listen to this.
Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth?
Agreed.
So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together.
No, Representative, that's not a sympathetic.
Ron is going out with a bang. I'm telling you right now, he's going to end his career as governor, Governor of Florida with a bang.
That group, but they are Americans. So how do you respond to that and do so in a way that is also, I guess, politically acceptable?
So first of all, what Donald Trump is talking about doing is definitely unconstitutional, and he should know, him not having been put in jail for some of the atrocities that he's committed. But
atrocities. I'm sorry, what atrocities were those, miss? I'll wait, because there were none, And what did you do? You hit him with 94 charges in New York, for bullshit, for handing over, passing over $100,000 to a cheap whore? Well, come on, stop. Not to say that was a good thing, but anyway.
These folks are U.S. citizens, and they should be handled as such. They should receive due process. They should be, sent to a court of law where a jury can judge whether or not they should be, sentenced.
And remember, folks, she's a state representative. Just saying.
And so this is just ridiculous.
There's been a lot of cooperation with the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, on this particular detention center. And DeSantis said today he predicted that Alligator, Alcatraz would force many undocumented immigrants to self-deport. Let's listen to what he said.
I love it.
Why would you want to come through Alligator, Alcatraz if you can just go home on your own? I think a lot of people are going to make that decision. So you're going to have a lot of deportations that are going to be done by the administration, but I think you're going to have a lot of voluntary as well. So this is a force multiplier for the president's efforts.
I see it as a win-win, but it's just me.
I know you disagree with him, but do you think that he has a point that there are people who will look at whether it's this detention center or other Trump policies, and it will make it less appealing to try to come to the U.S.?
The problem that I have with the statement that DeSantis has made and what Donald Trump are pushing is the fact that they want to take $450 million of our taxpayer money, and instead of ensuring that we don't have cuts to Medicaid, instead of ensuring that we're addressing issues like the rising cost of property insurance, instead of ensuring that we have quality schools for our children to go to, they want to blow racist dog whistles and push xenophobia instead of handling the things that Floridians and Americans care about.
I'll stop that right there. Crying from the left. It's all we hear. It's all we hear, crying from the left. Funny how how this state representative says spending $450 million on this. How can we do this? We have to improve our schools. We have to improve, it's about the safety and well-being of the children. Why are they doing this? Now, would someone like to ask this state representative, when Dementia Boy, Joe Biden, dropped $200 billion on Zelensky's doorstep of taxpayer money for a proxy war, was she bitching and moaning? Crickets. Guarantee you didn't hear shit from her other than, well, we gotta help Zelensky out. This is a good thing to be. We'll be there as long as we need to be. No, the hypocrisy. But then again, hypocrisy works on both sides of the aisle, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, it doesn't matter. But in this case, this is something that is long overdue for being built. I'm kind of surprised that it took Ron at the end of his second term, not doing it in his first term, but better late than never. So these are detention centers. That's what they are. It's funny how they say, when you're in prison and rip apart families and what have you. Remember those pictures? Remember the pictures of we saw crying children, behind cages, behind fences. Remember those? And they try to blame it on Trump, and it turned out to be Obama who was doing it back in 2012 and 2013. No, of course you're not going to remember that. Because it's the media. What do you expect? And so they're basically pulling out the same bullshit playbook again, tearing apart families and what have you, and yada, yada, yada. Alligator, Alcatraz. Great name for it. Hey, should be built in every state across the country. Because this illegal bullshit has gotten way overhand, out of hand, shall I say. When you allow 15 million illegals to flood the borders in 4 years like Dementia Boy did and did nothing about it. And now Trump has got to clean up and take out the trash. But good for Ron. Good for Ron. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please have a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.